What's up, y'all? Candy Girl here with my 2 cents on white people. I wanted to make this video because if you watched my videos before, you know that a lot of what I talk about is the history of white supremacy and oppression that African Americans have been subjected to ever since we were kidnapped and brought here as slaves against our will. Ever since then, this country has been built off of the backs of other blacks, and even after slavery was abolished, there were laws that were to keep blacks oppressed, to keep them in an inferior mentality, and to preclude them from moving ahead. And even after we've had things like affirmative action and things like that, a lot of whites have had this sense of resentment of blacks being given extra opportunities to come ahead or to get ahead, to right the wrongs of the past. They believe that we don't deserve an opportunity based upon, righting the wrongs of the past. They think that, yeah, you've got rights now, bring yourself up on your own. And because of that, sometimes that, prejudices their judgment, because some of those people are your CEOs, your HR managers, your supervisors, things like that, people who are making major decisions in the workplace. So with that being said, I also want to make the distinction between white supremacists and the rest of the world. First of all, some of my biggest supporters, like Dirk Diggler, I don't remember off the top of my head his entire correct name, and Jer, two of my biggest supporters are white. Some of them are of African descent in part, but they could pass as pure white. So based upon my subject and my topics of discussion and the fact that they're some of my biggest supporters, I would say that those people are not bad. Okay? Now, second of all, the reason why I say that not all whites are bad is because I have been to 2 very big civil rights movement events. One being the showing of a documentary that documented Martin Luther King's last march for civil rights in Memphis, Tennessee, which was his last march, and then a couple days later, if not a day later or something like that, he was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. When I went to that viewing of that documentary, I would say out of 150 people in the audience, there were less than 15 blacks there. And a lot of the whites that were there were over age 50. So these are whites who came up during the civil rights movement, and they live in the Mid-South. So even those people who were in the midst of the civil rights era still heavily support blacks, and they are curious and very invested in learning and appreciating civil rights history. And the fact that they so far outnumbered, so greatly outnumbered, whatever the word is, blacks in the audience, that led me to believe that really, if it were not for whites supporting us in our quest for abolition of slavery, as well as the granting of civil rights, we would not be able to be where we are today. And there are some blacks who are in no way, shape, or form interested in learning, appreciating, and disseminating civil rights history and our black history. Not in the magnitude that whites are. Not taking anything away from any of the black civil rights leaders of today and yesterday, but I have seen by and large that whites are much more interested in our civil rights than blacks. Another example, I went to the Civil Rights Museum with my parents when they came to visit me in Memphis, and overwhelmingly there were more whites in that museum who brought their children and their grandchildren to the museum. So that tells you something, that they want to teach their children that hate is wrong and that people have rights, and that these rights didn't come out of the clear blue sky. They were fought for several hundred years, and that there is no excuse to perpetuate prejudice and racism, and they fully support educating folks on the civil rights movement and letting that legacy live on. Guess how many black folks? I would say for every 10 there might have been one black person. Okay, now some of you all may defend blacks in saying that, well, there are more whites than there are blacks, and that's just, you know, whites will always outnumber blacks in any way, shape, or form. Wrong, baby, wrong. Because let me tell you this, if there was a little yachty with his ignorant self thinking a cello was a wind instrument, if there was a little yachty concert, they would be out in droves. If Lil Wayne came into town, if Snoop Dogg came into town, if Chance the Rapper came into town, Kendrick Lamar, you would see black folks in numbers that you had never imagined. And yes, there would still be some whites, but in those instances, blacks will be outnumbering whites. Okay, so black people do show up for things that they're interested in. They're just not interested in black history, American history. So I say all of that to say, not all whites are bad. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of whites who are much more interested in investing in protecting African Americans' civil rights they fought so hard for. And I appreciate their support. Lastly, so if y'all didn't notice, I'm driving and I'm coming from a conference. I'm an attorney, and I went to a conference on solo and small firms. I was in Osage, Missouri. This is about a 6-hour drive away from Memphis. Y'all, when I tell you I was going over the river and through the woods to get to this place, I mean, I was in some of the most country, rural towns. And Lord, when I tell you I was so scared to make any stops whatsoever for food, gas, or to relieve myself. But of course, I had no choice in a lot of instances. I was so surprised about how friendly people were to me. And that made me check myself. Like, maybe I'm a little bit prejudiced. Maybe ain't the word. I am prejudiced, okay? Because I am judging people before I know them. And I'm judging them based upon whatever class that they are, whether that be white, black, Asian, or whatever. I'm judging these people not on the content of their character, but because of the color of their skin, which is what the civil rights movement.
In a half mile, use the right 2 lanes to turn slightly right onto US Highway 63 South.
Sorry, y'all. Let me not end up in the river. Like I got to keep my directions good and good. So anyways, She about to interrupt me again. So please excuse this interruption.
Use the right 2 lanes to turn slightly right onto US Highway 63 South.
All right. But I appreciate this chick because she keeping me out the river. Anyway, so
Continue on US Highway 63 South for 62 miles.
all right. I hope you ain't got nothing else to say, lady. Okay, I got you. So, y'all, I'm sorry if that was really loud. I really am. So, I was really surprised about how friendly people were. Came up to me, making conversation, laughing, joking, and I'm looking like, oh Jesus, you know. At first, when I would see them coming, I'm like, oh, this is a real honky right here. I hope a honky ain't a slur. But I really thought that they were super duper country, and they probably had never seen a black person in the last 3 years, and probably didn't think very highly of me, and would probably say something really mean or refuse to let me use their bathroom. I was so ready to walk into this establishment with my camera turned on, like, I wish you would tell me I can't use your bathroom, and then let some white man come in here behind me, and then you let him use the bathroom. Baby, when I tell you they escorted me, they said, let me walk you to it. It's a little confusing. And then when I went to after I got done using the bathroom, and then I was looking for something, one lady didn't know where it was, so then she grabbed another lady. And then them 2 ladies didn't know where it was, so they grabbed the 3rd person. And they walked me to it just to see if they could find out if it was there. It wasn't there. They said they were sorry. I'm looking like, dang, you know, y'all nicer to me than some black folks are. So, again, not all white people are bad, and as a matter of fact, you know, I was in the wrong. I was wrong for thinking that these folks are racist. So, y'all, I just want you to know I love everybody. I have prejudice myself, and I recognize that. I think that some of it is a survival mechanism, that we all have to be a little bit prejudiced because we have to recognize danger, and recognizing danger is based off of prejudice. You don't know that person, but they walking towards you in a dark alley, and I'm a little scared because of the prejudice that I have already established against that person. So anyways, that's all I had to say, y'all. I'm just rambling so much. If you are a first time viewer or a second time or whatever, and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And then for all of those people who have been rocking with me, and all of my subscribers, whether you just subscribed 2 days ago or 8 or 9 months ago, I really appreciate all of your continued support, and I love you so very much for that. Until next time, you all, love and blessings.